The truth doesn't disappear. It just waits, under the noise, under the movement, under the stories you keep repeating to yourself. Most people don't lie because they want to. They lie because they need to survive the weight of seeing things as they are. When you wake up in the morning and tell yourself it's fine, that's not hope. That's anesthesia. You build illusions carefully, piece by piece, until they start looking like reality. You tell yourself that you're just tired, that things will change, that you're doing your best. But deep down, you know what that voice inside says when everything goes quiet. It's not peace, it's pressure, a reminder that something isn't right, that somewhere along the line you stopped choosing truth and started managing lies. Self-deception is elegant. It doesn't shout, it adapts. It learns your language, your habits, your tone, until it sounds like you. You don't even notice when it happens. The mask grows roots, the story becomes memory. And suddenly you're not pretending anymore. You're protecting. Protecting the version of yourself that couldn't handle reality. That's how it begins. Quiet, reasonable, necessary. You don't need to know who I am. You already know the voice. It's the one that speaks when the room goes silent. The one you've been trying to drown for years. They call it many names. I call it what's left when denial runs out. Some call me the shadow Cardinal, but names don't matter here. Self-deception always starts quietly. It doesn't come with a warning or a moment of awareness. It begins with a single sentence that sounds harmless. It's fine. You say it once and it feels small. You say it again and it becomes truth. You start using it to cover everything you don't want to face. Disappointment, failure, emptiness. You tell yourself that things take time, that everyone feels lost, that it's normal. And yes, it is normal. That's what makes it so dangerous. You build small lies to make reality softer. You call them reasons, explanations, logic. But deep down, they're just cushions between you and the truth. It shows up everywhere. In your job, when you say you still enjoy it, but you haven't felt alive there for years. In your relationships, when you convince yourself that comfort is love. In your goals, when you talk about them more than you move toward them. You tell yourself you're patient, that you're waiting for the right moment, that timing is everything. But the truth is, you're scared, not of failing, but of seeing what failure really means. You call exhaustion dedication. You call avoidance balance. You tell yourself that resting from progress is self-care. You defend habits that slowly kill you because they make you feel safe. And when safety becomes your god, truth becomes your enemy. Self-deception teaches you how to function while being lost. You wake up, you move, you talk, you smile, and all of it feels real enough to keep going. That's the trick. It doesn't need to make you happy. It just needs to make you busy. As long as you're moving, you won't stop to question where you're going. It affects how you see everything. You stop noticing small discomforts because they've become part of you. You start mistaking noise for life and distraction for peace. When something hurts, you call it growth. When something feels wrong, you call it stress. When you don't feel anything at all, you call it maturity. The deeper it goes, the more invisible it becomes. You stop knowing what's real. You begin to trust the version of yourself that lies better than you remember. You tell stories about who you are, and you believe them, even when the evidence fades. You edit your own memories to fit the narrative. You start defending a version of you that doesn't even exist anymore. And the longer you keep it up, the heavier it gets. You start to feel tired, but not from work, from pretending. Every small lie adds weight, until the truth becomes unbearable. You start craving silence, but fearing it at the same time, because silence doesn't lie. Silence tells you exactly how far you've drifted. That's how self-deception works. It doesn't destroy you. It dissolves you, slowly, gently. Until one day you can't tell if you're living or just maintaining a story that used to make sense. Self-deception isn't a spoken lie. It's the kind you start believing in because it helps you survive. It doesn't appear suddenly. It grows quietly, in small moments, where you choose comfort over truth. When something inside you whispers, "This isn't right," and you silence it with distractions, work, or a fake smile. That's how the trap is built. Not from lies, but from explanations that sound safe. And the longer you live inside it, the harder it becomes to see what's real. But you can step out, not by breaking yourself, but by learning to see clearly again. Step 1. Admit that you lie to yourself. It's not a weakness. It's just what humans do to stay functional. At some point, lying became easier than being honest. Admit it without judgment. Say it calmly. I keep pretending everything is fine. I'm holding on to things that are already gone. I'm surviving, not living. That's not failure. That's clarity. Lies always require effort. Truth doesn't. Step 2. Slow down and remove the noise. People think they need peace, but what they really need is silence. Silence exposes what movement hides. We stay busy to avoid awareness, scrolling, talking, planning, working, anything to stay away from the sound of our own thoughts. But that noise is what keeps the illusion alive. Turn it off. No phone, no music, no distractions. Sit with yourself. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. Anxiety, emptiness, restlessness. Then, under that discomfort, you'll hear something real. That's the truth you've been covering for years. Don't analyze it. Don't fix it. Just listen. Step 3. Observe without excuses. Watch your behavior like it belongs to someone else. Notice how often you say, "I'm fine," when you're not. How easily you fake smiles. How quickly you defend your patterns. Every small lie is a signal, a place where truth is hiding. Observation is brutal at first, but it's also the moment you start becoming real again. Step 4. Separate feelings from stories. You've built narratives to make emotions easier to carry. You call fear responsibility. You call emptiness peace. You call attachment love. But stories lie. Feelings don't. Ask yourself without decoration, what do I actually feel right now? Not what you think you should feel, what you do. Maybe it's pain, maybe guilt, maybe loneliness. Whatever it is, name it honestly. That's where truth begins. When you start feeling instead of explaining, the illusion loses power. Step 5. Build your reality on facts, not fantasies. Most people don't live where they are. They live in the version of life they keep promising themselves. When I finish this, when I get there, when I finally become who I'm supposed to be. But reality doesn't care about promises. It only exists in the present. Ask yourself, where am I right now? What do I truly have? What can I do tomorrow that's real, not theoretical? The answers might be uncomfortable, but they're yours. Facts don't hurt. What hurts is realizing how much time you've spent running from them. Reality isn't cruel, it's just honest. And when you stop running from it, it becomes home. And that's how it ends. Self-deception doesn't explode. It fades. It starves when you stop feeding it. Every time you choose truth over comfort, it weakens. Every time you call something by its real name, the illusion breaks a little more. And one day you wake up, look in the mirror, and finally see someone you recognize. Not perfect, not complete, just real. And for the first time, that's enough.